All right. Good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, May 8th, and as usual, going over analysis for US 30 gold and BTC. So US 30, this what we have here. So this zones remain as is. Price is far away from the 15-minute zones. Price is far away from the 30-minute zones. So let's see what SAR levels we have here. We have a 4-hour sell. 4-hour sell, hourly sell, but we have to wait for two 15-minute candle closures to take any of these SAR levels. So that's fine. Um, for gold, um, for gold, the supply and demand entry. So there's a 30-minute supply on gold, demand on gold running, but I'm not going to take that because this is market open. So I'll move to the next zone that's down here for the 30-minute, unless let's see if gold keeps going back up from here. But there's a current buy on gold that would be running, and this would have hit like this would be at break even. Regarding the SAR levels, there would be an hourly. We have an hourly sell right here. Let's see. I wouldn't take that hourly sell SAR level because we're in a demand zone on gold. So nothing to look at for gold. For BTC, no SAR levels. This one's 30-minute and below, so nothing to look at there as well. For supply and demand, these zones remain as is for 15-minute. And for the 30-minute, we need to push this supply level down a little bit further. So bring this down here. And then this is the new 30-minute supply on gold. I'm sorry, Bitcoin. Now we can close that out. So yeah, price is far away for the supply and demand entries. The hourly price is far away for these instruments. Might get this hourly demand on BTC at 61,587. So this is a nice buy on Bitcoin. If BTC gets to that level, yeah, so that would be a nice buy. So we'll probably get this hourly buy on BTC. For the 4-hour price is far away for these instruments. So other than that, let's move on to the trendline plus SAR rejection chart and see if we can find anything on there. So let me share this and see what we have. So yesterday there were a bunch of nice entries for this strategy. The BTC entry we took in the morning spiked up like 80% in profit, came back, hit break even, but then gave another buy at the top. But let's see here. So price is at the top trend line, so we'll probably not get any buys for US 30, so probably some sells. But we need either this 30, so this 30-minute is rejecting from the trend line, so it needs to close below. And if it closes below like all of these SARs, this would be such a nice sell entry because we have a bunch of concentrated SARs here. We also need to make sure if we're selling in supply, and if we're buying in demand. So you can see here, if I turn on the supply and demand zones, we have a bunch of sellers sitting here. So we might get a sell entry on US 30 based off of the supply. Okay, here for gold on the 15-minute time frame. Give me a second. Yeah, so here for gold, we don't have, if this candle closes above the SAR, it didn't reject off of a trend line, so this wouldn't be an entry, but this would have been such a nice buy on gold if this candle had rejected off of a trend line. But on the 15-minute, nothing on gold. On the 30-minute, nothing on gold. For sell side, of course, we're not going to find anything because price is currently on the bottom trend line. For Bitcoin, so remember, we have this hourly demand here on BTC. So for BTC on the trend line and SAR rejection, we don't have anything for buys because we don't have any SARs down here. So automatically, we know we don't have that. For BTC sales, nothing that I can see. For the hourly time frame for these instruments, there's nothing for US 30. Nothing for gold. There's a current buy on EU that's running. So this one right here. This is a buy on EU. Stop loss below the previous low of the candle. This would give you like a 10 pip stop loss, 20 pip TP. But I'm not in this trade. I saw this before market open, so I don't really see anything on here. So let me just show you guys this in case anyone is still having some trouble understanding this strategy. Okay. So let's review this EU entry. And this is the only time I would be trading EU because I stopped trading EU. So if we do a replay here, bar replay tool, and replay this, right? So we are looking for a candle to reject off of an SAR. So for a buy, you can have a buy if a candle rejects off of a bottom SAR, the green one. And you can also have a buy if the candle rejects off of the red SAR to the top, right? So here, I want you guys to see the price action for that candle on this trend line. So here, what we do, we go to the next candle. So nothing yet. Nothing yet. But you see this particular candle rejected off of this red SAR, came back up and closed above this SAR, right? So you'd wait for price to retrace back to that SAR, your stop loss below the previous low, previous swing low. So either the low of this candle that would have given you a 10 pip stop loss. If you want to go a little bit further down here, you'd have gotten a 15 or close to 20 pip stop loss, right? But again, I don't trade DU anymore because it just moves too slow. But if it was a heavy news day, I would have taken that trade on EU if it would have come after market open. But that's just how you would have done that one. So, but on BTC, nothing on the hourly for a buy. For sales, if US 30 in the next 16 minutes, so this is a possible sell on US 30. So I need to remember to check on US 30 for the next, over the next 15 minutes. This would give like a 60-point stop loss for 1:2, 120 point TP. So we've already gotten the trend line rejection. So now we need closure below an SAR. And then we would take the trade based off of the closest SAR it closed below. So this is a potential one to just remember at 10 a.m. Let's see. Do this. Now come back a little bit before 10 a.m. to watch this trade right here. Now, of course, if we're selling, we want to make sure we have sellers here. So perfect, we're in a sell zone. For gold, no sells here. But yesterday, and again, this one, I'd sent a screenshot in the group yesterday. There was a nice entry during Asia session yesterday, like at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I believe. So if we keep running this, I want you guys to observe, look for the candle rejection off of a trend line and closure below an SAR, right? All right, so keep going. All right, there. So you see this candle right here at 6 p.m. Eastern time. It rejected off of this green SAR and closed below the trend line and closed below the SAR. So you'd have had like wait for price to come back here, stops above the previous high. So either the high of that candle or either this previous high. This would have given you like a 10 pip stop loss on gold, or better yet, a 20 pip. and you get like a 1:2 risk to reward with break even set at 1:1, and you see how price comes back there exactly and then melts again to the downside. So this was a nice one in Asia. So I don't trade Asia session. I was just on the charts, like doing some back testing and saw that. But I've definitely noticed some nice setups during Asia. But right now for gold, there's nothing for sales. For EU, there's nothing for sales. For BTC, there's nothing for sales. So we have to wait to see if we'll get this US30 sell on the hourly. And possibly US30 sell on the hourly, or this one right here, sell on the 30-minute time frame. So we have two choices, either to take the hourly or the 30-minute. Both, I think, will give a similar risk to reward. The 30-minute may give you a 50-point stop, while it looks like the hourly gives you 100-point stop. So depending on which SAR we close above here and here, of course, we don't want to see any demand zone. So perfect, we have supply. Yeah, so today, other than the hourly demand entry on Bitcoin, I don't see any supply and demand entry. But this trend line and SAR rejection gives you a bunch of entries during the day. Not really a bunch, but enough entries during the day. You just have to find the perfect one or two trades. So I'm trying to go back to trading one or two trades a day and increase my risk per trade again to 1%. So for me, the month of April was pretty much back testing or forward testing all these strategies like in real time. So with the journaling or journal results I've had, this trendline and SAR strategy gives me has a better win rate for me, has like a 70% win rate, while the supply and demand strategy for me has like a 40% win rate. So I would rather stick to the strategies that have a better win rate. And I definitely love this one as well because it combines the SAR strategy that we've been trading for a year and also combines the trend line strategy, which is the first strategy we used to trade when we first started this community last year in March. So here at this point for US30, we'll probably I'll just make sure my what is it called? So that's either an hourly or let's see. My trade manager is configured. So the lower it goes, the higher you have to adjust your stop loss. So if it closes below this SAR here, you'd adjust your stop loss to maybe 60 pips or 60 points. If it closes below this one, it's still a valid sell, but you'd have to adjust your stop loss. So remember, stop loss should always be above or below the previous swing low. For this one, let's see what SAR levels we have for US30. Okay, and again here, if I turn on the SAR levels here and turn this off, just wait for that to load. We have a 4-hour sell on US30. We also have an hourly sell as well on US30. So yeah, so this trade looks very good to me. So we have this, if I scroll back, you can see we have an hourly sell right here. We also have a 4-hour sell. So here, always ask yourself, where is price being attracted to? So we have an hourly sell SAR, we have a 4-hour sell SAR. All these others, the green ones are 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute. So they're not really as high time frame as the 4 hours. So price here looks like it's being attracted to the hourly and to the 4-hour. And also couple that up with the supply zones that we are in right here. So to me, this is a no-brainer, and I will definitely be taking this trade. Or if you want, on the other hand, you can also take, I mean, all these trades will be pretty much similar. You can take the hourly sell SAR. So what you do here is go to, let me turn this off again, is go to, say, the 15-minute time frame. Let me change this to 15-minute real quick. Is go to the 15-minute time frame. You can see on the 15-minute time frame, we have this candle that has rejected off of the hourly sell SAR, and then we have this other one that's also rejecting. So this is also another trade. I sometimes if I send in the group like SAR levels rejection strategy, this is similar, right? So if you have two consecutive candles closing below here, you can take that trade setup as well. But for me here, I will take the trend line and SAR rejection. Both of them will give you the same entry pretty much. So but I just don't want to switch charts again. So let's see what we get here. So we have this one and we have this one on the hourly. So here's just a question on which one. So personally, I'll take this hourly right here. I mean, either way, they're going to give us the same entry. The lowest SAR the hourly can close below is at 38,830. And the 38,830 or 38,856 and 860 for the 30-minute, 38,850, 860 or 845. So yeah, so depending on which one you pick, both of them give you the same in and around the same entry. So 9 more minutes before I can take that trade. And I think I'll take it with a 60-point stop loss and 1200 pip TP. So this is 60 point, 6,000, 12,000. Taking it on the hourly time frame, so risking a little bit more than if I was taking it on the 30. All right, for this other instruments, gold, nothing here for gold. No entries, no. BTC, nothing for BTC. We missed, so remember 61,590 is an hourly demand for Bitcoin. If Bitcoin comes there, I'll be taking that entry as well. So today's entries, one US30 trade possibly, and possibly one BTC trade as well. Now, for the hourly, if this hourly closes above this top SAR, there won't be any trade to take because you need closure below a trend line and closure below an SAR. So if US30 on the hourly closes above 38,861, that SAR, then I will move to the 30-minute time frame because on the 30-minute time frame, we have a bunch of SARs here. But even so, on the 30-minute time frame, if price closes above this top SAR, then I will not be taking, I mean, there won't be any trade to take because we'll have a closure above the SAR and, just below a trend line. So it won't have given us both entries for this hourly. Yeah, so let's wait to see what happens in the next 6 minutes. And that will be pretty much it. Hourly for gold. Gold. Gold looks like it's still going up. Let's see. Supply. All right, yeah. So let's just wait for those 6 minutes and see if we get anything. Let's see this other strategies. Gold, US30. BTC. All right. So it's very likely we don't get any of these two entries on US 30. Um, US 30, 4 minutes. $23.04 for gold. Hmm. So yes, 30 risk. That's 500. All right, 2.5 minutes. It's very likely we're not gonna get this trade. This price is holding above here for the hourly and for also for the 30-minute. So which is fine. We still have a potential of getting a 15-minute one, but that would be later on in the day because you see price is heading to the top of this trend line on the 15-minute. So we'll just see what happens in 2 minutes. BTC is pumping. BTC missed our hourly demand by like $200. Oh well. All right, one more minute. So if this does happen, it will happen pretty fast. So this is 60, possibly can get away with a 500-point stop loss. That's good enough. But it depends on which SAR it closes below or above here. All right, 45 seconds. So 45 seconds, let's check the hourly. So my preference is the hourly. If we have to do the 30-minute, I'll have to change the amount I'm risking. So let's first see if we get an hourly entry. Probably not. Hourly entry is at 38,860. 30-minute entry. Even the 30-minute, probably not as well. So the hourly SAR, the closest is at 860. So if price doesn't spike back down in this last few seconds, which it won't, this won't be an entry. There you go. So no entry on this one. Price, yes, closed below the trend line, but then did not close below an SAR. So we go ahead and delete this and look for a new trade setup. Same thing on the hourly. You can see, yes, we had a closure below the trend line, but then no closure below the SAR. So nothing to do here. And we just delete that and look for a new trade setup. So we start over again. So for the 15-minute and 30-minute, no buys because price is at the top trend line. So probably looking for sells. So for us to get a sell on the 15-minute time frame, price would have to reject off of this trend line on the 15-minute time frame, and then close back below any of these SARs. So until that happens, there's no potential setup on US 30, and we would have to wait for like 30 minutes to even take a trade on US 30. For buys, for gold buys, nothing. We don't have any candle that is currently rejecting off of the trend line, but you can see this zone here has like 3 SARs, right? So this is definitely a nice area for buys on gold, but we would have to have a candle come down, reject off of the trend line and close above here. And then at that point, we can ride this price action up. But even then, that's not going to happen. Probably not during the live session because we would have to wait for, at the very least, maybe this current 15-minute candle. So, but we'll see how it goes. So I'll stay on the live session for maybe until 10:15. If by 10:15 there's no entry, I'll just call it a day for the live session. So we might get that the gold entry on the 15-minute time frame right here. There's also a gold demand at 2304, but we'll see which comes first. For gold sales, of course, there are no gold sales because price is at the bottom trend line for both, for the 15-minute time frame, for the 30-minute time frame. Price is between the top and bottom trend line. For BTC, there is nothing. If we did have a SAR level during this spike up, this would be a trend line and SAR rejection. But yes, we had a trend line rejection, but we didn't have any closure above any SAR. So nothing for BTC on the 15-minute and on the 30-minute time frame. Price is above, so no sells as well there. On the hourly, nothing. So I'll just hang around for a few more minutes till 10:15. The hourly time frame, of course, there's nothing to see on the hourly time frame because we just had the hourly switch over, and there's no setup that was created for us on the hourly. So if there's no setup on the hourly, there's no setup on the 4 hour. So I'll just wait and see if we get this entry. And gold is spiking back up. So I'll go back to the other chart that has the supply and demand entries, and we can see if we have any potential setup there. But yeah, doesn't seem like we'll have any trades for the live session today, but there will definitely be trades later on. For supply and demand here for gold, we are far from supply, we are far from demand. On the 15-minute, on the this is US 30, on the 15-minute, on the 30-minute. For gold, hoping gold to come back down to 2304 to get this demand set up. BTC, we might get this sell on BTC. Okay, so there's a BTC entry. Let me first make sure we don't have an hourly entry on BTC. So for BTC here, we have a possible sell on BTC. Let's make sure. So we're in a sell zone, so that's fine. So this BTC sell, so we have a 30-minute sell here. And actually liquidity has been taken out for that 30-minute. So this entry, this BTC sell on the 30-minute is no longer valid. So this moves up here. I'll close this. Because of that spike up, it's been mitigated. So I'll close this, move this back up here. So right now, only a 15-minute demand, 15-minute supply on BTC. So let's see if we can get that 15-minute supply. If we turn on the zones, yes, we do have that supply zone is still intact. So let's see if we get that entry for BTC for a sell entry. So 10 more minutes and we'll just, if there's nothing by then, we'll just call it a day. Mm, mm, mm. Mm, 15 minutes. All right. Mhm. Let me move back to the other chart. US 30, mm, only 8 minutes for this. Stop above the previous high. It's even better. 40 pip stop, depending on which SAR it closes. 80 pip TP. Supply zone. So here, if I turn this off and turn on the zones indicator, so you can see, right, this price action coming up, grabbing supply, coming back down. So you can tell exactly what's happening here. So yes, we're in a supply zone, so heavy selling area, but before the big drop, they would have to, keep going and picking up like enough sell side liquidity or supply. But yes, so this also on the 15-minute and on the 30-minute time frame, there's another entry for US 30 for sales, depending on how far it closes. But we have 6 minutes before that happens. So we have a 15-minute entry. I'm sure we have an hourly entry, but for the hourly entry, you'd have to wait for the candle to close. Actually, no, we do not, because this candle opened above the trend line, so that wouldn't be a trend line rejection. So possible 15-minute and 30-minute entry for US 30 in the next. For the 30-minute entry, you'd have to wait 20 minutes. So I wouldn't be on the live session for that long. So possibly only this 15-minute sell, depending on where it closes at. So this one looks like you can have a 40-point stop loss or between 40 and 60-point stop loss, depending on which of these SARs price closes below. And I would like it to close below this SARs here, because you can see here we have this concentration of SARs that's right here. So we have a huge concentration of SARs right here. So if price were to close below there, that would probably be or lead to a stronger push to the downside. But either way, so long as I get a closure below any of these SARs, if it's above this one, I would still take it with probably even a tighter stop loss, like a 30-point stop loss or even 20-point stop loss. But for right now, I'll stick to a 40-point stop loss, and I'll adjust it as the candle closes. The BTC supply we were looking at on the 15-minute, BTC is dropping. So it dropped before getting to our supply level on the 15-minute time frame. So probably nothing there. On the hourly, that hourly demand we're looking at for BTC as well, there's nothing. So let me adjust this on my trade manager. So 40-point stop for the US 30 trade, 80-point TP, and we'll see if we get that in the next 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, so for this gold candle on the 15-minute time frame, I think gold should push up from here. And this is actually an SAR entry, like the regular SARs we used to do. What's the difference between, yeah, this is an SAR entry right here. No, we haven't done it in a minute, but this one would be an SAR entry for gold. Make sure we need to see demand. Okay, price is in demand area. So something like this. SAR strategy, break and continuation. So this is a test and rejection entry. And actually there's a buy running on, if you consider this, this would have been a break continuation. So there's actually a buy running on gold based off of a break and continuation. But since I'm not in that, I would be looking for a test and rejection entry here. So something like this, come here, and go back there. So that's still in the next, that's a 15-minute time frame. Uh, All right, so two potential trades in the next 2 or 3 minutes. So a US 30 sell or a gold buy or end a gold buy. Yeah, if I had seen this break and continuation, I would have looked to take it. A minute. 40 pips. All right, 40 seconds for this one. So, and again, this would happen pretty fast. But again, my entry is on the 5-second time frame, so I'll let you know because it's on the other chart. I'll let you know when I get that crossover sell. For gold would have to wait for price to come back down. If we had caught this break and continuation, we would have been at break even by now. Because we would have probably entered somewhere down here. But we'll just wait to see if we get this test and rejection. For US 30, 10 seconds. Let's see which SAR it closes below here. So let's see, 2, 1. So it's gonna close below this one. So what I'll do, I'll set an alert here. Oh, so it already rejected off of that SAR. So there goes the alert. And I'll let you guys know when I get, so we want it to keep pushing up. So you can either, if you enter on impulse, that's your entry. But for me, I'm waiting for the crossover sell. So technically we don't have a crossover buy. So this is a tricky one. Okay, so we have a crossover buy, so that's fine. So I'm waiting for a crossover sell right now. So I'm still not in the position yet. Still waiting. And again, this is a 40-point stop loss. I forgot to adjust it on my top tier account. an 80-point TP, and it's just waiting. All right. So not yet in. Okay, there goes the not yet. Okay. So I'm in that trade right there. Let's leave this one. My auto trade is off. All right, so I'm in that US 30 sell on the 15-minute time frame. And for gold, we would want gold to come back down here. So I'll set an alert for gold. We need to measure. So if gold moves 30 pips first before coming back down, I'll just delete this entry because we would expect price to come back down first before, because the entry validated up here. But for me, I normally wait, or I would normally wait for retest of the SAR level. And yeah, so pretty much I'm in this US 30 sell and waiting to see if I'll catch this gold entry. So we'll just see how the US 30 goes and wait to see if we get a gold buy entry. The other part. All right, so this current, for this 15-minute entry, of course, I don't want to see this 15-minute candle closing above this SAR that we just entered in, or I just entered in. And also you need to watch the price action on the 5 minutes. So price action on the 5 minute is good. For now, we are creating wicks from the top, but if we start getting higher highs as well, we might look, or I might look to exit out at break even. But currently, still liking the price action on this one, so I'm going to hold the trade as is. All right, let's see. Turn this off for now. Let's go down to the 5. All right, so if this current 5-minute candle closes as a bullish candle, and I'm still in the trade. I'll be looking to exit this trade out at break even because remember, for my entries, what I like to see is price going in my direction almost at immediately, almost when I enter. But if you start seeing this reversal in price action, definitely a little bit of a red flag. But if this candle closes as a bullish candle but doesn't stop me out, and price comes back down to my entry, I'll just manually set break even at that point, and I will look to just exit that trade, either spikes down to full TP, or if it comes back up, I look to exit at break even. So we'll see. But if this candle closes, because you would be getting two bullish candles in the opposite direction of the trade that I'm looking at. Also here, if you see this 30-minute candle this week from the bottom, definitely shows you some bullish pressure setting in. Yeah, so for this entry, I would be possibly, or I'll be setting break even manually. But if it closes as a bearish candle, I'm not going to do anything for the trade. I'll just let the trade play out. Because right now, if it were to close as a bearish candle, we would have a candle with a big wick to the top, and then closing as a strong bearish candle. And we already know there's those SARs there. So it's either, if it closes as a bearish candle, I'm not going to do anything to the trade. If it closes as a bullish candle, again, for you guys, you can just maybe bring your stop loss a little bit further down, or just take half the loss. Or if you're like me, since you've already budgeted for the stop loss, you can wait for break even for price to come back to entry, which is not guaranteed. But if it does come back to entry, if we close as a bullish candle, I would be setting break even manually when I'm a few dollars up in profit. All right, so let's see what else is there. So for gold has already achieved a 1:1 risk to reward, or would have achieved a 1:1 risk to reward because the trade validated here. But for me, right, remember when we used to trade these SARs, I would always wait for price to come back. So price did not come back first before going up. So at this point, I just go ahead and delete this trade setup here, and we'll just wait for another one. But yeah, the one we would have, this is the one we should have caught. This break and continuation of the SAR would have caught this trade here. But anyway, we didn't catch it, so there's nothing to look at here. Yeah, so this trade, based off of this bullish price action, might end up as a losing trade here. BTC, see something here. All right. So one more minute. Yeah. So this particular trade here definitely looks, or almost looks, like we're going to be taken out, stopped out of that trade. Let's see, that's BTC. See what's going on with BTC. So BTC just tapped the 15-minute demand here. 15-minute demand on BTC. So let me share the other screen. New share. All right. So BTC tapped 15-minute demand. I'm sorry, 15-minute supply here. Okay, so I would rather take the hourly supply on Bitcoin. So we have a 15-minute supply that would currently, we haven't gotten an entry for it yet. Yeah, but we have this hourly supply on Bitcoin. So this is the one that I would rather take the hourly over the 15, because the hourly gives a better entry here than the 15. So for that US30 trade, we close with a bullish candle. So if we don't get stopped out and price comes back to entry, I'll exit out at break even. If we get stopped out, then it is what it is. Here, this would be the entry for the 15-minute for BTC. So I'm not taking this crossover sell right here, but I'm not taking the 15-minute For Bitcoin, I'll wait for price to retrace up to this entry area for the hourly supply, and that's the one I would take. So US 30, I'm still in the trade. I'm just in drawdown, but definitely looks like that entry will be stopped out. But for anyone who's looking to enter BTC, the 15-minute entry is around where price is at. The hourly entry, which is what I'm looking to enter, is at 62,705. So I'm looking to enter this hourly here on Bitcoin. But the 15-minute is currently running. So price is at entry for that hourly entry. See if we get that one. So I'm still in the US 30 trade. Just in a little bit of drawdown. All right. Let me share the other chart that has US 30. Let's see. US 30 should be this. All right. So that 5-minute candle I was talking about closed as a bullish candle. So this is the point, right? So you guys can either take the loss as is, half loss, but right now we are rejecting off of this high. So which is the critical part of this particular strategy is you need to make sure your stop loss is above or below those or the previous swing highs or swing lows. So we are picking up some sell side liquidity here, but at this point, even though we come down with a heavy bearish candle that closes below my entry, as soon as I'm a few pips in profit here, if I don't get stopped out, I'll just manually set break even and either wait to get taken out or for price to swing up. But it definitely looks like this particular trade right here will get stopped out. So I'll just wait to see what happens first. So if I get stopped out on this trade, we'll watch to see if we get the Bitcoin entry on the 15-minute, I'm sorry, on the hourly. But right now, the 15-minute for BTC is running and would be in some profit. But the hourly entry is giving us a better entry than the 15-minute. So we'll just observe this entry right here for US 30. But yeah, definitely not looking too good, especially also if this current 15-minute candle closes above this trend line right here in the next 40 seconds. Um, this is an entry on Bitcoin right here. So if you're in the other trade for this particular entry, if you take it, make sure to use If you're using 0.75% risk, use 0.375 for this BTC entry. What's this times 2? 56. This also is 1 for BTC right here. But remember, this alert here is an hourly alert or hourly supply on BTC. So price can easily come back up there. But this also is a BTC entry at 62,585. All right, US 30. So remember, if we get back to entry, I'm manually setting my stop loss to break even for this one. All right, so price is coming back down. Almost. Mm, 6,000. Mm, three, four, four. And for for this BTC as well, you don't want, see this one. You want to see how far it goes relative to your stop loss. So we have a $280 stop. So you don't want it to go to get to this part first before coming back up. Um, All right, US 30 is falling back down. So let's see. All right. So if we get to entry, personally, I'm setting break even. So just depends on what you want to do. If you still like the price, I like the price action for it, but I would rather get a new entry, especially after having this strong push to the upside. So I would rather get a push because this, what they might be doing here, the reason I would be immediately setting break even if I'm a few pips in profit is this can be a break in resistance and retest, right? So it doesn't mean it might drop all the way back down. So if you have confluences for that, you can hold that trade. But for me, based off of the price action, I would rather just take a break even on this trade and then wait for a new and clean setup, which possibly might be this BTC here. But if you're in both trades and you want to take this BTC trade, if you're not out of the original trade for US30, instead of 0.75% risk, use half of 0.75, which is 0.375, around, yeah, around that. All right. All right, so there it goes. So remember, you can enter in on on impulse, but for me, I'm looking for the 5-second confluence for that one. So I'll let you guys know when I get it. And I forgot to do 8,056,000. That's so remember for US30, set break even once you get a few pips in profit. What am I looking for? BTC. And also remember for BTC, we have that entry on the hourly. So just pick whichever you want. So if you enter in on impulse, you should be in the trade. For me, I'm still not yet in the trade until I get a crossover sell. Remember, we have an hourly supply at 62,700. So if you want to wait, that's another entry as well for the hourly. So pick whether it's this 15-minute. I'm not in it yet, waiting for a 5-second crossover sell. But so long as I get that 5-second, I'll enter the trade. Either way, I'm entering the trade. So and there goes the 5-second, just waiting on this candle to close. There it is. So entry is around, yeah, so entry is around where that entry is, 62,544. So it's around that area. So that's, I mean, that BTC sell. So no need to keep this anymore. So this will be the two trades of the day. US30 is going back up. So this is what I meant by I really wanted to move or to close out early, because what happened with this big candle, this could have been a break of resistance, and what they are doing is just retest of that resistance and before they push price up. So I mentioned, so if you're like me, and you're fine with taking the full loss, that's fine. But here you can exit. You had a chance to exit with minimal loss, half loss, or even right here, which would still be half loss. And remember, for that BTC, make sure your stop loss is above this hourly supply, because this is another entry they would be coming to pick up supply or sellers. So the hourly supply was giving the better entry, but for me, I love these trend line entries. So most of the times, if I see them, the only time I won't take a trade is if I'm selling here, and if I turned on my zones, I see that we have uh what is it called? We have buyers here. So if we had demand here, that's the only time I wouldn't take it. But for this trend line and SAR rejections, I make a habit of taking pretty much the ones that I'm seeing, so long as they align with the supply and demand. So today's trades, this BTC trade and this US30 trade. And you can see this wick to the top. So this US30 definitely looks like it's going to be an a loss if you didn't already take a smaller loss. But yeah, this heavy wick to the downside, they probably did like a break of resistance, and now they retested that break and then pushing US30 up. But if this BTC trade wins, you'd ideally be back at break even for the day, because if you're doing 0.375 for this trade and it hits full TP, that would be a 0.75 gain. If you lose both trades, that you just be down minus 1.125% for the day, which is not bad. So we'll see. US30. So I'm still in the US31, but that price action definitely seems like we'll get stopped out on that. All right, so stop loss taken on that US30 trade here. Just record a screenshot for my journal. All right, so looking back, reviewing this trade, everything aligned. We were in a supply zone. The SAR levels, we had a bunch of them. A bunch of sell side levels, hourly, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, 4-hour. So for this one, there's nothing that we could have, or personally I could have done to avoid this. Stop loss was above the previous swing highs, which is this highs right here. That just got taken out. So yeah, so for this one, I think it's just one of those trades that you hit a loss either way. And let's see what's happening with BTC. So BTC is still in and around entry. So I'll just share the other screen real quick. So that will be it for the live session. If this BTC trade wins, you should be back at break even for the day. So, or even up, depending on what your risk to reward is. So I'll just share this other screen. So this is the first loss of the month of May. Because we've just been taking break even. So Monday, there was no live session. Tuesday, yesterday, we had a break-even day from that Bitcoin sell. So this was a break-even day. And then today, so far, that trade minus 0.75%. So just the first loss of the month. And let's see. That trade was based off of US30. All right, BTC just tagged the hourly supply. So if you were waiting for the hourly supply on BTC, let me update this real quick. So if we go to the hourly, we just got that tag. So right now, if you took the loss on the US30 trade and you're in the BTC trade with half risk, I don't think there's a need for you to take this one. But this one just got tagged in. So if you're the person to layer, this is an entry for BTC. But for me, I'll just stick to what I have right now. If the current trendline and SAR rejection hits, it looks like it's at a 50% towards stop loss. So if it hits stop loss, then that would be whatever. But if you enter if you're in the current trendline and SAR rejection entry and you take this BTC sell, you have the potential of, say, doubling your losses. But right now, my entry the BTC entry we just took is coming back to entry, right? So these two trades looks like they'll be around the same place because this is where you would have entered the hourly supply, this crossover sell. So my current entry for the entry we took, so let me just show you. Looking at this current entry is at 62,585, right? So the trend line and SAR entry is at 62,585, which is somewhere here. That's the trend line and rejection entry we entered on the other chart. The hourly supply you would have entered here at 672. So it's not that big of a difference for both trades. The only thing with the hourly supply, you'd have had like a $500 stop loss. But anyway, we'll just see how it goes. Price is coming back towards entry for this. So if it goes and melts down here, in future, remember that, right? Price goes from one area to another. So if Bitcoin melts from where it is, we'll know that they were coming to pick up liquidity from this hourly supply and then drive it down there. So this is why I always tell you guys like which is the most optimal entry, and then you just decide whether you will take either the medium optimal, least optimal, or the highly optimal. But yeah, so I think depending on how this goes, we might get a nice push for BTC to possibly break even. The only thing here is this wicks. This wicks that BTC has created, when it missed getting our hourly demand here, this wicks show like heavy buying pressure here on BTC. So I think whether it's the trendline and SAR rejection entry or this hourly supply, I think this BTC trade might end up at break even. That's if it doesn't get stopped out. Because if you look at where the wicks are, unless we start getting heavy wicks from the upside. But yeah, so just make sure the trade makes sense. The current price action on the 5-minute is good, but if the 5-minute setup on BTC, if the current 5-minute candle on BTC, let me switch this to the 5-minute. If the current, so same thing we did with US30. If this current 5-minute candle switches and turns bullish, you would wait for price to come. You'd either get out of the trade, or I think the stop loss for the trend line and SAR is somewhere above here. So I don't think price would be able to come back to your entry. But if you start seeing this wick on the 5-minute time frame for BTC, or if this candle closes as a bullish candle, then that trend line and SAR entry will probably get tagged out. But just watch the price action on the 5-minute, and that will be it. I have to drop off to attend to something else, but yeah, just watch the price action on the 5-minute for those two BTC trades. And if price action reverses, then you can either cut your losses or just take the full loss, and we'll be back again for tomorrow. But other than that, that's it. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. All right, guys. Peace.